First of all, I have a question. Who is the first time in Unbound? Raise your hand. Who was here in the past? Raise your hand. 20% first time, 10% were in the last time, were already in the past. 70% don't understand my accent. You are very good. You should lead the laughter, you know, because it's very embarrassing when you tell jokes and nobody laughs. You know, it's really... Who was in Unbound in the past? Raise your hand. Who was not in Unbound in the past? Raise your hand. It seems that hearing is improving.
Yeah. But can you believe the polls? The question is whether or not you believe the polls and whether or not there's a silent... Is there a silent majority that's not...
You are expert on data. We will come to you. You will interpret this poll. You are expert on polls. Who ever heard my jokes? Raise your hand. Who is very eager to hear the same jokes again? Raise your hand. Look, I have to make how you call disclosure?
Disclosure, yeah.
I made a whole career on telling one set of jokes. I have one set of jokes. I cannot generate. Moscovich, how many years we know each other? 55? So you heard all my joke. Get out from this session. Okay. How much time?
We've got not much time left now.
38 minutes. Okay. I would like to ask the panelists to introduce themselves and what are they doing.
Yeah, I start. My name is Mauruzio, and I'm founder of H-Farm. H-Farm is a kind of zoo of young entrepreneurs. And seriously, it's a platform for innovation where we let meet corporation with the startup ecosystem. And together, we involve also students and school, because innovation, for us, it's nothing without a next generation. It comes getting the combination between the next generation, so young people, and technologies. So this campus is a small ecosystem where all these activities comes out.
You have to say it's in Venice. It's very wonderful.
I'd say it's a 5-star resort for startups.
You are a very bad salesman, I'm telling you.
I don't like oversell myself.
Okay, we'll get to it back. Second or third, yeah, why don't we go back to you?
I'm back, so technology issues solved. Nikunj Jinsi, I am with the International Finance Corporation, which is the private sector investment arm of the World Bank Group. We invest in developing markets only, and I head the venture capital activities, roughly $1 billion effort, which we invest in later stage venture companies in developing markets, in venture funds, as well as of recently, accelerators and incubators. Invest both in developing markets as well as in developed markets-based businesses that are focused on developing markets.
Which kind of startups will you be willing to fund?
So, through our accelerator business or direct, or all of it. So we do, on the accelerator side, on the fund side, we are more generic, looking at broad-based startups. But our thematic focus on the direct side is more the digital economy, so anything that's driven around mobile internet and internet revolution.
But in all countries of the world, or?
In developing markets, largely. So, you know, think Sub-Saharan Africa, Latin America, Asia, Middle East.
And what is the length of the process?
We invest alongside other VCs, other investors, so we cannot afford, if that's the question, no, we're not slower than the rest of the world.
Can you make decision on the spot? Like if we arrange here a line, will you be able to tell them?
No, I think only Yossi can do the decision on the spot.
Okay, we will get back to the IFC, and I will tell you a little bit on my experience with the World Bank. Roseline, who are you?
Hello, I am Roseline Kalifa.
You have to speak louder.
Yes, I try.
Oh, good.
Okay. I am Roseline Kalifa, in charge of partnerships in Israel for Orange. Is a big carrier. I don't know if you know. Who knows Orange? Okay. Not a lot of people.
How many people know Orange too?
Yeah, it's...
How many people know what is Orange?
Ah.
You see, this is a sophisticated audience. Roseline, through the years, how much money you spent in order to create your brand, to establish your brand?
I think, I didn't remember really, but...
$3 billion, $4 billion?
For globally?
Yeah.
It's $20 billion.
Yeah.
20.
Guys, you have to give her a better feedback. Raise your hand even if you don't know. Who know what is Orange? Good. You see, your money, your advertising money work.
And I am on innovation team. It's not, we spend money. We don't have money, but we spend a lot of money. And we are looking, but after we will do business. And we are looking for startups. And
we're also looking for startups.
For a lot of
startups are in big demand.
Yes, and we are looking and we are working. We are working with a lot of companies. We are very good models for working with startups. We have investment, we have partnerships, commercial partnerships, and technical partnerships. At the moment, I don't understand. I believe that the subject was on IoT. I prepare something on the future of IoT. So I prepare something. At the moment, we have a platform. It's Data Venue. And we have an Israeli startup, Brizometer. It's quail.
Other than Israeli startups, from which other countries you have startups?
It's difficult because we are allowed to work with this year.
No, generally.
In the beginning, Israeli startups. Yossi, it's huge. Maybe, I think maybe 10 per year since
no, but which
10 years.
Startup in other countries? Which countries you are active in?
We have Brizometer this year. We have in a lot of domains, you know, healthcare, finance, and technical domain. We invest also.
We speak on two different wavelengths, but that's okay.
It's all the time like that.
Between my accent and Rosaline's accent, we can communicate.
Yeah, because I prepare something.
Good.
I am on my way. The last thing is to invest in startups, in SecBI, cyber.
In cyber?
Yeah. So,
good.
And we are working more.
Salama, how much of your data you really collect and how much you fabricate? let's have honest conversation. What is your work?
What is my work? I run a company called Kantar, which is part of WPP.
Kantar is part of WPP. WPP stands for what?
Wire and plastic product.
Wired plastic product. You are a company which you are the makers of the shopping carts.
Well, I think Martin's on just after this, and I think he would say that they never mastered the technology to have the wheels on shopping carts. So it was always baskets, handheld baskets. Trolleys were too sophisticated.
Handheld, not with wheels.
No, because the wheel technology wasn't invented.
Wired plastic product. When are you moving to wireless plastic product?
Well, you saw the Amazon store.
Come over, look, I need you here.
You saw.
Bring him microphone, so you will laugh to the... It's really humiliating, you know, I'm telling joke and I feel like an idiot because nobody is laughing. You are wonderful. What is your name? Drew. Drew? And what are you doing, Drew?
I'm here listening to your show.
No, but what are in your daily...
I run a global thought leadership platform, Lifelines.
Global what?
Thought leadership platform.
Thought leadership. Why don't you come and join the panel? Come over. A round of applause.
Thank you, Yossi.
Before that, I have to establish one thing. Did we pay you to laugh?
No.
No, you volunteer it, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
I
So
mean,
just that you know.
So
okay, let's continue.
Okay.
What are you doing other than wired product?
So I run this thing called Kantar. We work for clients like Orange. We work for local companies, multinationals, helping them understand their customers, insights, predicting their behavior, how to change their behavior. So it's
how you do it, how you do these important things.
We do it through a mixture of, traditionally it was surveys and qualitative research and ethnographic research, and obviously now we mine social data, we mine big data, we use return path data from TV sets, we use loyalty cards, so we look
you are
at
running the whole thing.
I know that sounds amazing to you, but
yeah,
yes.
It sounds amazing, yeah. How one person can run such...
Well, there's a lot of other people as well. There's 30,000 of us doing
30,000. Two months ago, I interviewed you, and there were 27,000.
It's a big growth area.
How the overhead is growing.
Yeah, it's all overhead.
30,000 people are doing data. Now Martin said, you will able to see Martin. Martin works for Eric. He will come here on the screen after this.
The thing to remember, if Martin and I contradict each other, he's the boss, and so he's right.
He's not always right, but he's always the boss.
He's always the boss.
Good. Tell me the truth. I tell you what the results should show, and you work the data backwards, or?
No, it is.
You know, because
I'm not going to be provoked by that, but I will tell you that the polling stuff in the States, so the Brexit stuff, the Trump stuff, has made people think about what kind of consumer behavior can you predict? Are we doing things the right way? What do we need to do differently? So there is a real debate, which is very active, which is prompted by the political side, as to what that means about how we really understand and predict consumer behavior.
What the polls showed about Brexit and Trump?
Well, Brexit, we were one of the only 2 people in the UK to predict Brexit. And
can I make an assumption, and you are not going to be offended by me?
Well, we'll see what it is.
So far it worked. You know, I keep offending you for the last 3 years, and you're still coming. You know, it's kind of SM relations between us, you know.
So what are you going to say?
I go to say that WPP has so many subsidiaries that I will give you a method how you always can be right in the predictions. You tell one subsidiary to make this prediction and the other subsidiary to make the opposite prediction, and then after the result you can say, aha, we say that this will happen.
Will you ask Martin that when he comes up after us?
Well, if I will ask him, he will never invite me to stream again.
So I think that's the business that we're in. How can we understand the way that people are going to behave?
Martin said that soon marketing will be totally data-driven.
Well, I think you know, all of the big data at the moment, all of the new data that we've got helps explain a lot of what people do. So we know that if they watch this TV program or they've watched this video on YouTube, we can see how they buy something. So we can do a lot more than we ever did before, and we can predict that a lot better than ever before. The bit that we still can't do with big data, which we need more traditional approaches, is to really understand why. Yeah. So why people behave the way they do, and remembering that most people are emotional, irrational people. Rationality is not the thing that drives most of our behavior.
I want to rephrase it. People are 100% rational. The guys who are not rational are the economists, which think that everything should be driven by optimal economic behavior and not by sentiments or by beliefs or by persuasions, etc. So the economists are not rational.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that you know, there's a danger that with all of the data available, that people forget that we're dealing with human beings who are emotional and make decisions around emotion as much as anything else.
Tell me, did you ever prepare the business plan?
For what?
For whatever.
What, for anything?
Who in the audience? You are laughing. I didn't get to the joke already, and you are already laughing.
Invite her onto the stage.
Can you come to the stage? Who in the audience prepared business plan? Raise your hand. Only so few people prepared business plan? from the people who raise business plan, keep your hand up. Don't get it down. Who prepared business plan started with the results and walked back to find what should be the data? Raise your second hand. Everybody raise your hand.
So you've got this theme. Let me just, on this...
Explain to them what I'm trying to say.
On this theme, there's so much data around. I started my first kind of proper job was working for a company called the Henley Center. And we didn't have that much data.
The Henley Center?
Yeah, we didn't have much data. So the way that we did it...
What they have done in the Henley Center?
Consumer trends and predictions. But we started with hypotheses. We had hypotheses about the way that people behaved and the way that the world worked. And then we looked for data that would support that. And some of that is necessary because there's so much data around at the moment that if you just try and mine the data, you don't actually get to a story which you need. So it's not, what you're suggesting is not totally the wrong thing to do.
What he's saying that the right way to create business plan, I will translate what you say to English.
Okay.
He said that the right way to do business plan is to use a method known as reverse creative financial engineering, which means you start with the result and you work back what should be the data that you put in the assumption, so you will get the result which you know that this is either true or the result you want to achieve.
Isn't that how people raise money from you from a VC point of view?
Yeah, this is exactly, this is why I don't read business plan. I think they are offensive. It's an insult that people will think that I'm so stupid to read business plan.
So what's your criteria for investing in a business?
This will come. First of all, I will tell you what is the common thing to business plan and sausage. Only people who don't know how they are being made are willing to eat them. He's laughing. He's terrific. I love you. 2 days ago, I celebrated my 50th anniversary of a wedding. Otherwise, I would marry you in the...
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Tell us what you are doing and how you got into the stage.
Laughing at your jokes, I think. We are busy curating a fintech mission to New York, fintech and retail tech. So if there are any fintech, retail tech startups, scale-ups that want to join us, go on our website, wearelikminds.com, and we'll introduce you to investors and the New York fintech retail tech community, which is happening in February, the end of February next year.
What is happening in February?
His fintech mission.
Fintech mission. You are creating mission.
Yeah, we're taking a group of 10, 12 UK fintech.
You already selected?
No, we're inviting them now.
You are interested to solicit some here?
Absolutely, yeah.
You have 1 minute. Everybody agree, right? 1 minute. Make a pitch. Make your salesman 1 minute why they should join you. I can tell you one thing that you should join. If you tell a joke, he will laugh. That's terrific. That's a great merit. Go ahead.
So the idea is that we'll introduce you to the New York community of fintech businesses, and we work with Barclays Rise, which is an accelerator based here, and I believe in Israel as well, actually. Barclays in Rise in Tel Aviv.
Barclays, yeah, they have accelerator.
Yeah,
this is what you mean.
Yeah, so we're going to be based at their
Everybody has accelerator in Tel Aviv. If you don't have accelerator in Tel Aviv, you don't exist. This was a shameless Zionist propaganda. Go ahead.
So yeah, so we're being hosted by Barclays Rise over there, and also working with JP Morgan. So if anybody's interested to come along, please get in touch. As I say, all the information is up on the website. wearelikminds.com.
And what are you going to visit in New York?
We're running 2 panel debates, one on retail tech and one on fintech, and a networking reception. And then we'll set up one-to-one meetings for the group of companies that come with us.
I see that Roseline is interested. All of a sudden, she stopped sleeping and she...
Brilliant. Come along.
No, look, you've got to ask... Roseline is prepared properly for this panel, so you need to ask her, and she's
Roseline,
thought about stuff which says... the big things for the digital future. So ask her at least,
Tell me,
what are those things?
You take all the time. You know, you talk about your data. You don't leave anybody else a chance to open his mouth. Roseline, what is the question you want me to ask you?
Sorry, Yossi.
What do you want me to ask you?
I prepare something, if it's possible,
Just pick out
with all my
the,
colleagues on the future of
the best
IoT.
new thing in the digital future.
I believe it was a subject, you know.
You prepared on
They
digital.
prepare for me a lot of slides on the future of IoT.
Okay, there are slides they can show it.
But it's not the subject, you know, as usual.
Never mind, there is no subject. This panel is a free will.
As usual, I don't have the right subject.
They even didn't know what to title to give it
What
the
I
panel.
can
You
do
know, I
is to
opened
sing.
the program. I see that the topic of the
Yeah,
panel is
I know.
conversation with me.
I can sing also, you know. I can sing, I can...
Why are you laughing? You go to look at the panel.
sure,
So tell me what is the question that I should ask you.
What's the one biggest thing in the digital future that we should
Do
know
you have
about?
any idea?
Rosalind, what is the one biggest thing of the digital future
That we should know
that
about.
we should know about?
I have. I have.
You see? At
One of
least
the
one
big-
guy came prepared to this.
One of the things in the future, just one sentence, you know, because I prepare a lot of things. All our environment, all our houses will be connected. Your bed, your kitchen, your room, all the things will be connected. And what we need is small network. And in 2 years, we will have the 5G. And we will have a lot of connection. And we need that specifically to connect all the things that we have, you know. And there is a big collapse between software and hardware. And we will continue to have small network like LoRa, like Sigfox. And the future also is to consider the cyber question. If we have a lot of connected things and a lot of networks, we will think also to the cyber. I'm happy. I can talk on that.
And Orange is active in this thing?
Yes, absolutely. Orange work on connected things.
On what?
On connected things and on network. We are waiting for, at the moment, we try to put 4G in all the part of France and in all subsidiary, also in Africa. IoT is very important also in Africa. You can have water, you can swell the weather, you can help a lot countries in Africa. In our environment, in developed countries, different. But we will have connected things and network, and we will have also, what is also another challenge, is to have a lot of data center, small data center, not huge data center. The future will be to have a lot of small data center and connect a small part of the network with small part of IoT.
Okay, thank you. You are happy?
I'm happy that you let her answer.
I'm happy
Any
because I
question I should
prepare.
ask her again?
No, I think that's good. I think you should move on to the other panelists
The
now.
other panelist. Okay.
That is very nice.
Good.
I like that, Yossi.
You see, you have to thank him. He's trying
Yeah.
to put some order in this
And I'm
chaos.
happy of your question. Your question is, which kind of question do you want? That is very nice.
Yeah, very good.
So
What
thank you.
is the IFC focusing in when you select investment targets? You have any special area or anything qualified?
No, so we look at sort of the broader digital space, again, in developing markets. So that includes mobile internet, health tech, edutech, which is still quite generic. But we also look at sort of like interesting themes such as big data using, IoT approaches that would help, for example, climate change or energy efficiency. And those could be businesses that are based anywhere. So, for example, we have invested into one Israeli company, which has nothing to do with what I just said. It's called Kaima. It's an
What is the name?
Kaima,
Adima?
Kaima, which is an agri-tech company, which has nothing to do with
Agritech.
what I just said. But
Kadima like Avanti.
I'm sorry.
Kadima in Italian is Avanti, right?
No, Kaima.
Kaima.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kaima is existing, is something which exists forever.
Correct. So we do that.
And what they are doing in agriculture?
But we try to dovetail that with what we do as IFC on the mainstream side. So Part of our strategy obviously is like focusing on energy inclusion, financial inclusion, and beyond, and using technology as a driver, as an impetus to get that disproportionate growth in underlying emerging markets. We typically co-invest with other VCs, with other investors, private sector investors, and generally span the globe. So we're operational in 5 different offices right now globally.
Where?
We're in Beijing,
of course,
Singapore,
of course,
Delhi, Lagos, Dubai, and soon to be Sao Paulo.
Ah, very nice. And you are traveling between all these offices?
I try to limit that as much as I can, but I do have to.
Good. After we finish the panel, you will tell me how you cope with jet lag.
I know, I was going to ask you, but I'm all half asleep on this panel by now. So.
Yeah. And in how many startups you invested so far?
Oh, of course, we've been doing this for 15 years, so we've done over 100 startups, but right now we have a portfolio of around 40, $500 million worth of portfolio, about 40 active.
Do you want to give your email to the people in the audience in case that somebody has some amazing, world-changing, something which is going to change humanity investment idea?
So the easiest is to send it to our inbox, which is vc@ifc.org. vc@ifc.org.
vc@ifc.org.
And the information is all.
He's not willing to give his name, He came all the way from America, but his name is...
My name is out there. So agency@ifc.org is the direct.
We are now doing some progress.
And if you want to have more information about our portfolios, it's on ifc.org/vc.
Yeah, and if you need a good business plan, Eric will advise you how to get the right data. Am I going to ruin your career? You have such a brilliant career.
It was ruined before.
He's like a duck. I'm trying to tease him, and it's just like a water on the feathers of duck. It's just going down, no impression. No, IFC is doing... can I tell you in 1 minute my experience with the World Bank?
Is it good or bad?
Pardon?
Is it good or bad?
I think it was very good. Then this goes back to 1979 when they created the energy department in the bank with a guy, a very nice guy. Unfortunately, he died. His name was Ephraim Friedman. He was from Chile. He was the head of the energy department, and he invited me to come as a consultant to the bank, which was a very prestigious, if to be a consultant, then for the World Bank. So I came, I asked him, okay, what do you want me to do? He said, I want you to write a report on the world state of the non-conventional, non-commercial, indigenous, renewable, traditional, alternative energy resources. I didn't know what is indigenous, but I was afraid to ask because I was afraid he will send me back to Israel. So I said, what? He said, non-conventional, non-commercial, indigenous, renewable, traditional, alternative energy resources. For the people who are not familiar, there is a special language which is being used in the bank called bankish. You are not aware of it?
I learned something new just now, so.
Yeah, so I told him, look, at that time I was in charge of the energy sector in Israel. I told him I never heard about non-conventional, non-commercial, indigenous, renewable, alternative, traditional energy resources. He gave me an example. He told me rice husks. I said, rice husks. Anybody know what is rice husk? Anybody know? Anybody don't know what is rice husk? Raise your hand. I think we are speaking to mummies, they have no idea what's going on. If you have no idea what's going on, this is the common thing between you and us, the panel. So nevertheless, I asked him what is rice husk. He explained to me this is the stem of the rice, which is being left. It's being burned in some countries as a fuel. I told him, I don't know rice husk. He told me, why don't you write a report on bagasse? Anybody knows what is bagasse? One guy doesn't know what is bagasse. You can look at Google when nobody looks, and you will become the smartest guy in the room. Who knows what is bagasse? educated people. You know, most of them are from the UK. What kind of education you are giving?
It's very low down. If you saw all of the stats this week, we're like 70th in most things.
70.
Education, maths, everything.
And they don't know what is bagasse. Eric, do you know what is bagasse?
I'll let you answer that.
Bagasse is when you take the sugar cane and you squeeze the sugar, you are being left with bagasse. Every intelligent human being, other than people in this room, know what is bagasse. So I told them I don't know what is bagasse either. He told me, okay, forget bagasse. Can you write a report about cow's manure? I told him, cow's manure I can relate you to, because when I was young, I encountered this source of energy, which is green energy, as anybody who was in rural area knows. I had a lot of encounters with it, so I embraced the topic, immersed to it totally, and in one month I made a world study about the cow's manure status in the world. By the way, you know what is the difference between cow's manure and bullshit? Cow's manure doesn't have the human touch, which bullshit.
And what did they do with this report?
With this report, I came to the conclusion, I wrote a report that I suggest, I study what you are doing with cow's manure. I'm not going to challenge the guys, you know. Though you will see if I ask them, who knows what is cow's manure? Who knows what is cow's manure? Be proud, raise your hand. Who knows what is cow's manure? Who knows how many symphonies Schubert wrote? Nobody, you know, they have a better understanding.
But I think one of the lessons is that putting up your hand probably isn't a good sign of what people know. You need to find another technique to get information out of people.
He's collecting data.
What's the alternative way that you can get people to respond? Because putting up their hand isn't working.
Throw a shoe on the panel. I'm asking you, you are the expert on data.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the issue that we've got, that people aren't putting up their hands when you ask them the question. So
I never thought about it. This is a very good point. So how we are going to resolve it? I know how we are going to resolve it. We have to motivate them. Look, guys, this is 10 pounds sterling. Who knows what is bagasse? The first one. Come over. You see?
it works.
It works.
Yeah.
Cheap guys. Shafrir, Amit, I need you. Amit Shafrir. Amit is here or is out? He left?
He's outside.
He's outside. Amit Shafrir created a company where experts like us are answering questions for money, and the money goes for charity. You like it?
Yeah. Look, he's spending his £10 already. He's on the shopping app.
Very good. We never challenged him. He just said he knows what is bagasse. We didn't check if he knows what is bagasse. You know what is bagasse? If you don't know, we are not going to take the money back, you know, because I said the one who will raise his hand. I didn't say the one who really knows. What is bagasse? When you squeeze the... Good.
So anyway, you didn't answer the question earlier on. What's your one criteria for why you would invest in a company? What's the one thing that you look for?
Next time you will be the moderator. You are doing a much better job than I have to
People
admit,
are interested in that question.
I arrived. I have to apologize. You know, I know that this panel is going kind of a strange one, and people are asking themselves what exactly going on, what he wants from our life, when it's going to be finished. It's going to be finished in 5 minutes and 33 seconds. But sincerely,
Yeah.
I flew from Jakarta Thursday last week. I was in Jakarta. I flew from Jakarta to Washington. And from Washington, I flew to San Francisco. On Sunday, I flew from San Francisco to China back. And this morning, I landed 2 hours ago after 18.5 hours on the airplane. And you shouldn't run a panel after you're flying 18 and a half. This is my conclusion, you know.
So, but still, answer the question. That what's the one thing?
I'm sharing with you the most intimate problem, psychological problem of my life, and you are pushing. I'm trying to tell you that I'm totally incompetent.
Yeah. No, but you said
incompetent, incapacitated.
We agree with that as a moderator, but in terms of the question.
Look, guy, I want to tell you something. Salama, we know that you are squeezing data out of people using all kinds of inhumane methods.
Yeah, this is not exactly waterboarding. I'm just asking you the question.
You are not paying like me generously. I heard you are torturing people in order to, like what you are doing to me now.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to know?
Just because people know that you've invested in some great companies, you're a great investor, just the one thing that you look for when someone comes to you and says, invest in my company.
The one thing, honest to God, one thing which enabled me to get my best investment is luck. You know, now, because people, and this is true for everybody else, what you really need, what is there is a song of the Beatles.
That's love, not luck.
Luck.
Yeah.
Well, believe me, luck. They were also lucky. With love, you go nowhere. You need luck, you know? Can you sing it?
All you need is love.
Luck. Ta 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 ta.
Yeah.
Everybody together. All you need is
Love.
Da, da, da,
Da, da, da. All you need is love, love.
da, da, da.
So that's not very helpful for people, though.
level of energy here is
Low. It'll go up. When Martin's being interviewed, it'll go up.
Okay, so luck is very important. And other than that, I used to think ideas are overrated. But now I know that they don't mean anything. There is only one thing other than luck, and this is execution. And you know it. You know it from your business. You can have terrific ideas. If you don't execute them, they just create agony, spending money, frustration, etc. The better the ideas which are not being executed, the more miserable you come. And if you have a good execution team, even if the idea is not so great, they will go places. So execution, you have to focus on execution now. In order to get execution, what is the raw material for execution?
People.
People. So you see, he knows everything. Why you ask me? You know the answer. People, talented people, are the most important thing. Right? You have talented people, hire him. Don't worry what you are looking on the watch. Moskowitz, this is kind of a signal you are sending, a message you are sending us. You should look on the calendar, not on the watch. I know this guy for 54 years, can you believe? Maurizio,
Tell me.
what type of startup ecosystem we have in Italy?
That's a good question. If you mean like Italy, it's we have startup of more or less of any kind. Italy is not.
Italy is really interested in startup or just in good food and good clothing?
It looks like the cuisine. You know, we have 3,000 different kinds of pasta.
3,000 different kinds of
pasta in Italy. And
who know? These guys, you know, they don't know. Anybody know what is pasta? Raise your hand.
They all want £10 from you.
3,000 type of pasta.
Please, yes.
Can you tell us all the kind of pastas?
It could start. You know, it's by region. Sometimes it's the recipe, which is slightly different with the ingredients, region by region, town
But
by
you know
town.
that wheat is not good. Now they say wheat is not good for your health.
But we don't care, you know, because it's good. It's important.
Can I ask
you know,
you a
all
question?
the good things.
Can I ask
it's not
you a
good for the health.
question? You don't have to answer if you don't want. How old are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going to be 53 in
53.
in a
Can you
couple
stand
months.
up? Look, Italian guy, 53. Look how he looks. He looks like a boy.
Maurizio.
So how you do it, explain to us. With 3,000 kinds of pasta. I
don't
eat
get
two
it.
kinds of pasta, and I wanted to stand also, but it's too difficult for me to stand.
I don't get it so much.
Look, we actually, over time, I would like one volunteer to stand up and to share with us what did he learn from this panel. One brave guy or lady.
There's someone putting up their hand there.
Expect the unexpected. You are very kind. You are very polite. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is fantastic panel. They are entitled to round and applaud, and I apologize that I was not at my best today. Come to our next event where I will be able to torture Eric Salama really hard. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.